So my company is called Worldata. We've been around for about 45 years, about a 100-person organization based down in South Florida. We work with many of the Fortune 100 brands on the planet, and we do demand generation work for them in terms of utilizing email to drive new customer growth, both B2B and B2C. We do lots of data services and best practice email consulting. So we're not an ESP. I'm not a marketing automation platform. I work with all of them, but we know how to leverage email to drive new customer growth, whether it's with your data or third party data. So you could always reach out to me about that. So within my company, we have a research division. We aggregate all the information on the 6 billion emails that we send out annually and 40,000 campaigns. And we take all this research in our World Data Research division. And we come up with lots of stats and lots of information. So I'm going to go through with you today is information coming out of that research group. Now, because of the pandemic and everything that's going on, we don't care really about information from 12 months ago. We want to focus on the last 30 days because every 30 days is almost like a new year right now. So we're going to be looking at information from about 200 million email data set over the last 30 days. So we can really give you an idea of what's working, what's not working. And you could take tactics out of this session right now and make them actionable for your marketing programs. So let's jump into it. So in the next 35 days, there's going to be more emails sent on the planet than at any other point in human history. Okay, let that sink in for a second. More emails sent than ever. Why are there going to be more emails sent right now? Well, it's the perfect storm. Number one, you have the pandemic. What's going on with the pandemic is that everybody is trying to communicate, right? Everybody is online so much more. We have kids doing virtual school. Everybody's working from home doing Zooms. Everybody is online. They're bored, right? They're online. And when you're online more, what are we doing? We're checking our inbox more. Inbox activity, people in their inbox. If you compare now versus January, it's up 28%. That's people just in their inboxes looking at email, right? So you have the pandemic. Then you couple that with the holiday season, a very strange holiday season, right? Because everything's going to be online, and then a bad economy. So everyone's looking for deals and everyone's sending out emails trying to sell product. You have more emails being sent out than ever. So what does that mean to us as an email marketer? Who cares, right? It means we actually need to be sending out more, not less. It's funny to me. We have so many clients that will say to us, oh, we're sending out too much email. We need to cut back. That couldn't be further from the truth, especially right now. There is an appetite for email. And the reason that there's this renaissance of email is social media right now is where people are going to be controversial, to argue about things, right? But email, nobody's arguing about anything in email. They're going there looking for offers. And we see that by the inbox activity being up. How do you know if you're sending out too many emails, too much? Two things you always should look at is number one, your unsubscribe rate. How many people are removing themselves from your list? If your unsubscribe rate is steady and not going up, and the second thing, your open rate, how many people are opening up the emails you're sending out? If your open rate is not going down, send out more email. And I'm going to show you some stats that relate to this. Unsubscribes staying steady or going down, open rate staying steady or going up, it means you're actually not sending enough. Let's look at some interesting stats. Here's Nike, right? This is just for their primary brand. They have lots of other sub brands. But if you look back in July, they were sending out 1.8 emails per week on average. In September, they were up to 4.2 per week. You say, oh, that's not that big of a jump. Then you're crazy. You're talking about more than doubling their email volume in this short period of time. So what does Nike know? Right? Nike knows there's an appetite for email. Open rates are up. Inbox activity is up. We're all online. We need to send out more. What about the B2B guys? Here's the Content Marketing Institute. They're supposed to teach us what to do. In July, they were at 7 emails per week, which may sound like a lot to you. In September, they're up to 10 emails per week. Why? Because it's working, right? They're not sending these out because it's not working. They're sending it out because it is working. So sending out more email right now is going to give you that lift that you're looking for. Now, the other thing that marketers don't always understand, and this is where you're going to bang your head against the wall and say, Jay is crazy. That can't be true. But open rates, how many people are opening and reading your emails, actually increase. They go up when you send out at least 6 times per month. Now, a lot of you are sending out way more than 6 times per month, and that's great. But if you're not sending out at least 6 times a month, you're not going to actually get your open rates to go up. Why do they go up the more you send out? The way that email marketing works now, as opposed to years ago, is that the way you get into a person's inbox is based on engagement. How often are they opening an email? How often are they clicking an email? If they're not opening or clicking any of your emails, you're going to go to junk. You're going to go to undeliverable. All right, that's the way it works. If you're not sending out enough emails with some great subject lines, some great offers, and generating that engagement, that open, that click, you're not going to go to the inbox for that next send. So you need to send enough to trigger enough engagement to actually wind up in the inbox. So the more you send actually impacts your inbox deliverability in a good way, right? As long as you're being relevant. And that's going to increase your open rate. So don't send out less, send out more, which is interesting. Now let's talk about the holiday season, where we're at right now. On the B2C guys, and don't tune me out B2B, but on the B2C guys, you guys are already late. Black Friday started weeks ago. Okay, it started weeks ago. If you're not using Black Friday and the holidays in your subject lines right now, you are doing yourself a massive disservice. This is not a regular holiday season. Everything is early this year, and we're seeing it in the numbers. Okay, in the last 10 days, offers that are mentioning the holiday in some capacity, Black Friday, something to do with the holiday offer. On the B2C side, you're going to see a 38% lift in open rate versus non-holiday offers. What you see in these calendars here, my organization puts out these best and worst days email calendars, and one of the best days and worst days to send out email. And what we see is that the last 10 days, seeing a huge lift in open rate by using these holiday time periods. Now, the B2B guys are like, well, who cares about the holidays? I'm a B2B guy. It doesn't mean anything to me. That couldn't be further from the truth. We see one very interesting thing right now as it relates to the B2B guys. Content offers, okay, white paper, free industry report, checklists, whatever. Content offers on the B2B side that are related to the future in Q4. So right now, if you're sending out an email promoting something related to 2021, right? Here is the 2021 outlook for CRM systems or whatever. Anything related to the future right now in Q4 for B2B guys, you're seeing a 21% higher download rate than every other quarter. And this year, more so the case than any time because we are so sick of 2020. Right. So if you're not taking advantage of these little things, you're not going to get ahead. The secret to email marketing is how do we do the little things, right? There is no silver bullet. There's no one thing that you're going to do that's going to be like, all right, I did that. Email's good. I don't have to worry about it. It's a series of little things. And that's what I'm taking you through here. What are little things that can give you an advantage? All right. So looking towards the future, it's not just a B2B thing. 2021, that's a secret sauce word right now. You put 2021 in your subject line right now, and that's what I keep talking about is last 30 days, it's going to increase your open rate 22 to 28%. Why? Who wants to stay in this year? This year is garbage on a good day, right? It's terrible. We want to be in 2021. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, when an individual, whether it's B2B or B2C, receives that email, they see 2021, right, in that subject line, they're like, oh my God, it's something new. It's something different. It's not 2020. These are all different examples. So on the right, you have a consumer one, 2021, about travel plans and whatnot. You have the webinar here about 2021, professional services delivery. I love this one. The future of the tortilla industry, right? It's always about the future. I should join the tortilla industry. That sounds like something I could really get behind. Like what do they talk about in this virtual conference? Right? Do they talk about, okay, last year we made circle tortillas. This year, square. I mean, I got to attend this conference. Anyway, talking about the future, right, is going to generate a huge lift right now. Now, holidays in general, mentioning them at all, we all want to celebrate stuff right now. Celebrate anything because we are so bored. We are bored. When I turn on Netflix and I see a new show, I do the happy dance. I'm like, I've watched all of Netflix, right? So any holiday, Small Business Saturday, November 28th is coming up. Do promos around this. Free shipping day, December 14th. I bet you didn't know that was a holiday. Okay, these things work and they may sound silly. They may sound nonsensical. But the whole game is get your email open, right? Get your email open. If you don't get your email open, no one cares about your offer. No one cares about your creative. So these things work. Birthday emails, if you have the data on people's birthdays, they do phenomenally well. Okay, they do phenomenally well. And here's examples of birthday emails. They'll give you a lift and open 11 to 29%. The one in the middle is the funniest to me because it's an email celebrating your half birthday. And guess what? It works. Totally ridiculous. But this works. Get your emails open. Send out more email. Get those emails open, right? So we got to drive home all this. So what else is working right now? And when we talk about right now, I'm talking about right now. I can't send you. Go to some of these sessions, webinars, not here, DigiMarcon, but other events, and they talk about stuff from a year ago. Who cares about marketing metrics from a year ago? That might as well have been 2 decades ago. The planet is a totally different place, right? So what's working right now in email marketing? Well, first of all, as marketers, we are collectively doing a great job of putting everyone to sleep. This is a GIF that's showing Frasier sleeping. Why? Because we are so boring. All right, here's one of my inboxes. I get all sorts of email newsletters. I get the email newsletter from Owler. Great little website, very nice. But here is the subject line I get from Owler: your Wednesday morning update, your Tuesday morning update, your Monday morning update. It is such wallpaper, so boring. I never open up these emails ever, right? And what do we want? What is right now? What are we fighting? We're fighting boredom. And as marketers, we have to fight boredom. That is what have to be front and center of our mind every time we are sending out an email. So here's an interesting stat: email newsletters with unique subject lines versus consistent. Consistent is like the Owler example. Owler example. Unique subject lines versus consistent. Unique ones have a 22 to 20 to 37% higher open rate right now. 22 B2C, 37% B2B. If you're being unique, right? It's all about being unique. And that's what we got to do. Don't be bored. That should be my next slide. So in reality, being bored would actually be an upgrade right now because, oh man, it's terrible. So suspense. This is the thing. This is one of the biggest changes in email marketing. What's getting people to react to email marketing is suspense related emails. Suspense related subject lines are increasing open rates right now on the B2B side 25% and on the B2C side 34%. That is huge. And that's a game changer just in the last few months and especially the last 30 days. Let me show you some examples here. So this one on the top right. Do you know the most important CRM reports to watch? No, I don't. I'm going to find out. That's interesting to me. If you're involved with CRM stuff, I want to know. There is a level of suspense there. Down here with Crane, what does Crane do? They make paper. They make fancy paper, okay? And their subject line is, we have a secret, dot, dot, dot. I mean, what is their secret? Is their secret that they're going to start selling plastic? I mean, they have a secret. But you know what? We are a simple-minded species. And when we see this email, we're like, I need to know. I want to know what Crane has that's a secret. And we open it. It's driving higher open rates. Or up here with Rosetta Stone. Why do ghosts say boo? I don't know. Why do ghosts say boo? I want to know why ghost says boo. You know, it's like, why do we all watch Jeopardy? And I miss Alex Trebek already. It's terrible that he passed away. I can't answer 99% of the questions on Jeopardy, right? But why do we all watch? Why has it been on for 400 years? Because it asks a question, it creates a level of suspense, and then we want to know the answer. That is email marketing right now. We need to create that suspense to drive those open rates. I got this email the other day. This is the subject line from Sherwin-Williams. So first of all, Sherwin-Williams Paint Company. I'm the least manly guy on the planet. I can't fix anything. Literally, I barely could put a cap back on my pen. I don't even know why I get the Sherwin-Williams emails because I've never painted anything in my life. But I get this email from Sherwin-Williams, and the subject line is, our color of the year is here. And you know what? I want to know the answer. This is suspenseful. And they did a good job because I am going to open this email. And I bet you people that are listening in right now are saying, you know what? I want to know what the color of the year is. Click the thing. I want to know the color of the year. And that is what gets emails open. And here it is. The color of the year, bronze. Wasn't that exciting? I mean, no offense to bronze. I like silver. I like gold, whatever. But it's like, we couldn't get like a primary color or something. But anyway, it got me to open up the email, and that's the game. So what else can we do right now to get emails open, to get things going? That is our job. Okay, other cool trends. Checklists. Checklists are doing phenomenal. I can't take it, when I'll talk to a client and we'll go like, you know what, you guys should promote some content, whether it's B2B or B2C, fill up your funnel, get some leads, get some people interacting with your new products that you want to showcase. And they're like, well, I have no content. I have no offer to send out. I'm like, that is nonsense. Make a checklist. Okay. A checklist you can make in 5 seconds, right? The 5 coolest things about our product. Oh, okay. That's a checklist. Okay. And checklists are doing phenomenal. It's so much of a better way to promote your information You don't need to hire a company to spend 10 grand to make you a little white paper that says nothing. Checklists are doing really, really well. And by promoting them, making sure they're in your subject line, you're seeing a 17% higher open rate B2C at 31% higher B2B. So checklists are something really cool to try out and to test. Okay. So inboxes are flooded. Okay. We've stated that inbox are totally flooded. How are you going to stand out? What are you going to do to stand out beyond the obvious that we've already talked about? Well, this was really amazing to me. This is one of my inboxes. This is not me trying to cherry pick emails or anything like that. All I did was I sorted one of my inboxes by the from address. So on the left-hand side, you see Walmart. These are all the emails I got from Walmart. Okay. And you can see all very recent emails. And I didn't do anything, right? What do you see in the subject line in almost every single one of these emails? In almost every single one. It's crazy. What do you see? You see emojis. I get asked all the time, do emojis work? Before I even put up the data to show you that emojis work, you're looking at Walmart, right? One of the world's biggest marketers who's been doubling their digital sales each of the last 2 quarters since the pandemic started. And what is the primary email tactic change that they have done since the pandemic started? They've done one thing. They've included emojis in almost every single subject line that they send out. So as a marketer, before I even show you any stats that it works, if you don't try this, it's out of control. Okay. But here's the reality. In the last 10 days, B2C guys, 21% lift in open rates by using an emoji in the subject line. B2B guys, 22%. The reason it's exploded is that in the last 12 months, email clients, the receiving email networks, Outlook 365, Gmail, Yahoo, Comcast, whatever, they've all made it so that way emojis are viewable. So now 92% of all emails received, both B2B and B2C, can view emojis and symbols in the subject line. So you may think it's ridiculous. You may be like, especially the B2B guys, you guys could be zoning me out. Be like, this guy talks really fast. It's nonsense. I'd never use an emoji. Well, you're wrong. Because if you want to get your email open and the guy next to you's email is not open, this is what you got to do. It's not silly. It's called marketing. So if you're going to use an emoji, there's a great site called Emojipedia that has a lot of information on emojis. If you're going to use emoji, try to have it at the beginning of your subject line, not at the end, so you can actually get the advantage of people seeing it. And also try to stick with some of the more standard emojis, right? So if you use a pear, a green pear, the fruit, a green pear doesn't look like a green pear in every email client. Sometimes it looks like a brown circle, which is weird. If you stick with a clock to show time is running out, if you stick with faces, you stick with a thumbs up, things like that, they do very, very well. So anyway, test emojis. So other interesting stuff. I just got this email the other day, which I thought was so cool from Postmates. I have no data on it, but you see this email here where they do the cross out in the subject line? How cool is that? You're telling me if you got that email, you wouldn't be like, whoa, that's cool. I'm opening that up. Yes. Why? Because it stands out. That's all we could ask is that stands out. Another little tip and trick that works really well here on the right for both B2B and B2C, it costs you nothing to use brackets and parentheses in your subject lines. Call out the offer at the start of your subject line using brackets or parentheses. You'll see a lift in open rates, 18 to 20% B2B and B2C. That's awesome. It doesn't cost you $1. Free shipping. Download now. Whatever it is, call it out. Why? It draws our attention to seeing it. It stands out. And this is data from the last 30 days, right? This is what's working today in the middle of this pandemic. Ooh, I get to take a 5-second pause. Hold on. I know. Every time I do these sessions, I'm like, I talk too fast, I talk too much, but I want to get you guys as much information as possible. And if I put out here 15 ideas, right? Some of you may say, "Oh, I tried them all, only 5 work. Jay's an idiot." That may be, but I would say no, that's not true. Now you have 5 things that it can be in your arsenal that you could pull out at any time and you can try, right? And that you know will probably work. And that's a secret to email marketing. It's all about testing. You could test everything I said today, and it's not all going to work because there's too many variables, too many different industries. You could be government, you could be nonprofit, you could be direct to consumer, you could be all over the place. Everything's different for everybody, but you test it, you try it, you see what works for you, and you keep on going, you keep on testing. So how else can you stand out? Well, you can tell people that they're cool. Everybody likes to be cool. What is this? What is this a picture of? This is the iPhone 12. Now, I have an iPhone. Here it is. It looks very similar to the iPhone 12, I got a camera. I only got two cameras. That one has three cameras, but who cares? How good of a picture? I'm not Ansel Adams. How good of a picture am I really going to take? Okay. And what is 5G really going to do for me? I mean, am I really downloading anything that much faster? So why is it that people are going to run out and buy this phone? Right? Why? Because Apple's done a great job of creating this idea of exclusivity, right? That you want this. And it's the same thing with clothes, right? You have clothes in your closet that fit you. You don't need any clothes, right? But why do we buy new clothes? You buy new clothes because you want to have something new. They say, "Oh, you look so nice in your new outfit." Oh yeah, thank you. It's this sense of exclusivity. I have something that's mine, that's special. Okay. In email, exclusivity is a home run. It is a home run. It's how you get people to interact with your emails. And I don't just mean using the word exclusive. The concept of exclusivity, if you use it, it increases your open rates. How many people are opening your emails? 25 to 34%. What do I mean by exclusivity? I mean things like just for you. You get an email in that subject line and it says just for you. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, we're like, whoa, this isn't for the guy next to me. This is for me. Only for investors. Ooh, I'm an investor. Okay. Healthcare professionals, this is for you. Right. If DigiMarcon sent out an email promoting this event and they said, marketing professionals, this is for you, you're like, wait a minute, I'm a marketing professional. I should attend this thing. When there is that sense of exclusivity that's for me and not for everybody else, it does phenomenal. So leveraging the idea of it's not for everybody. And of course, the actual word exclusive is a no-brainer. This is one of my inboxes. You could actually use the word exclusive in your subject line, which is in every single subject line that you see here, which is in one of my inboxes. Why does every marketer use it? Because it works. It works. So it's another good thing to test. So let's talk about landing pages. We talked a lot about subject lines. Let's talk about landing pages. Your landing pages are destroying your campaigns. They're terrible. They're actually worse than terrible. Okay. So what do I mean by they're terrible? There are such little things that you could do to make such a big difference. I got this email here, the one on the left, from this MM plus M event. I have no idea what it is. For all I know, they're giving out M&Ms, but it's some sort of B2B event. Nice pink email. I like it very much. I click on it, and this is the landing page they take me to. That looks terrible. No offense to them, but it looks terrible. It looks boring. It looks like it has nothing to do with what I just clicked on, and I'm not responding. There's no way I'm responding to this email. Okay. What's really interesting is landing pages that have the same primary image as the originating email, right, generate a 28% higher overall conversion rate. What does that mean in English? It means this. When Facebook sends out this email on the top left of this guy, nice face, nice guy, and I click on the email from Facebook, it takes me to a landing page, and there's the guy again, same picture. It's the same primary image as the originating email. It has a 28% higher overall conversion rate. You think Facebook knows anything about data? You think they have a clue about what drives response when you take somebody to a landing page? I think they probably do. Right? So why are they? It's not the prettiest landing page you've ever seen. So why? Why does this work? Because you know what? We don't like change. Okay? We like knowing I clicked on a button, the button took me somewhere, and the place that I now landed is the same thing as I just clicked on. And of course, it's a subconscious thing, but it generates the response, and that's all that matters. The other thing is time. No one has time for anything, even though we're bored. The irony is we're bored, but we have time for nothing, which is so strange to me, right? Landing page forms, okay, that take longer than 45 seconds to fill out have a 42% lower overall completion rate. Now, that doesn't mean that you go to your friend next to you and say, hey, I want you to time me. I'm going to test out our landing page. No, that's not what it means. It means, do you need every field, right? Do you need a state if you're asking for zip code? Do you need a job function if you're asking for job title? Every additional must fill field that you ask for, you're going to lose 8% of your registrants because nobody likes filling out a long form. They're super boring. So think about everything you're asking if you need it right now. The biggest killer to conversion rates on a landing page, B2B or B2C, is having your navigation bar on the landing page. Super annoying, right? You have an offer. You email out this amazing offer that you have, right? You get somebody, oh, God bless them. They clicked on the link in the email and they're going to your destination page. You take them there. When they get to the destination page, landing page, B2B or B2C, what do? You surround the offer that you're trying to get sold with a bunch of nonsense. You surround it with your navigation bar that can take people anywhere, other links to your social media or some other garbage. And what do we do? Because we're a simple minded species, we click on this stuff. We click on it because, oh my God, I see lights. I will go in that direction. You need to strip down your landing pages if it's about an offer and close the deal. Close the deal. Site navigation bar on an offer destination page lowers conversion rates by 90% B2C, 25% B2B. Here are some examples of ones where they're all stripped out, B2B and B2C. You can't do anything but respond to the offer. And the irony is, you sent out an email with an offer. All you want them to do is respond, and you take me a page with all this other stuff. And don't tell me, oh, you're a big corporate brand. You can't do it. We have to have our navigation. You have companies like Salesforce that can do it. They strip everything out. Why do they strip everything out? Do they do it because it's, oh, by accident, we forgot our nav bar? No. They know that the second there's a nav bar, people are going to click on it and they will never hit the back button. They're gone. Goodbye. Good luck. Nice knowing you. So these little things may seem little, but sometimes you bang your head against the wall, like, I don't get it. I had a really good open rate, like great click-through rate, and our response rate was terrible. We had a 1%, 2% conversion rate on our landing page from the clicks. How's that possible? It's possible because you're doing everything you can to fight yourselves. The other thing you could also do is you could do pull-in pages, right? You could do pages where you're asking an initial question, they hit submit, they go on to question 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Once somebody gets a little bit of information, they're much more inclined to dive in with you. A lot of ways to skin the cat in terms of landing pages. So another interesting thing is what happens if you click on an email offer after it expires? That's like a tree in the forest question. What do I mean by that? So I live down here in South Florida, okay, and we have a horrible baseball team. That's okay, but I still like them. So I got an email to buy this Marlins shirt, and truth be told, I didn't have the time. I didn't have time to click on it. I put it off to the side. A couple days later, it came back to the email. Now the email was a one-day only sale. I click on the email, and where does it take me? It doesn't take me to a page to buy a Marlins shirt. It doesn't even say, oh, I'm so sorry. You missed the one-day offer. Here's a different Marlins shirt. It took me to a page to buy a Dodgers shirt. That's horrible. Okay, that's embarrassing. That's not what we're looking for. Okay? Why am I telling you all this? Here's another email, InfoWorld. They sent me an email to go check out their on-demand webinar. I missed the time period to check it out, which, by the way, I don't know how I missed the time period for an on-demand webinar. That's a little bit ridiculous. But where do they take me because I missed the time period to respond? They take me to a page not found. Page not found. That's terrible. Now, why am I telling you this? Who cares? 22% of all clicks will occur after your primary offer expires. Let that sink in for a second. You send out an email, you have an offer, 2 days left, 1 day left, offer expires, okay? 22% of all clicks are going to occur on that email after your primary offer expires. If you go back to look at your email tracking, it will blow your mind the long tail that is an email click through. It goes on for days, weeks, months even. But the beauty of it is the lifetime value of new customers who respond to an email after the primary offer date expires is 195% higher B2C, 235% higher B2B than those that respond during a regular offer period. Why? Why are they so much more valuable? Why? Because I get an email from you right now and I like the offer. I respond, boom. I just did it. Need your reaction. I get an email from you right now. I don't have the time to respond. I put it to the side. I come back a week later. I think about your email again. I think about it. I pull it up. And now I click on it. That is a very conscious decision. That's why. So think about the traffic. It's the most valuable traffic you have that we all ignore and move on to the next email. Think about it, right? Don't do what Gap did here. Love Gap. I have a lot of Gap clothing. Get an email for my jeans, miss the offer, click on it. Love women's jeans. They don't fit me great. It takes me to women's jeans. That's a fail. Think about where you're sending these people. Okay. A few kitchen sink things. Don't disappear on me before we get to some Q&A. All right. Another interesting thing in the last 3 days that we're seeing is 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. Sending out the same email offer 2 days in a row. No, it's not too aggressive. No, you're not spamming people. This is what's working right now in this pandemic. Email offers sent 2 days in a row versus a 4-day period. 28% higher response rate B2C, 24% higher response rate B2B. This is huge. It allows you to get more offers out the door, more leads, more products sold. Okay? Send more email, not less. Last 30 days, top performing email offers, B2C. Last 30 days, best offers that are performing best. Free shipping, holiday related offer, pickup, no contact pickup, gift with purchase. These are the top 4 offers right now, B2C. B2B, top 4 offers last 30 days right now. Virtual event webinar, toolkit / assessment, free trial, and then white paper industry report and checklist. These are the best performing B2B offers right now. All right, free stuff. This is good. You'll like this. Free stuff. Okay. My company, Worldata, besides for doing demand gen work and all this fun stuff, we try to put out best practice information. We have an email calendar that I can email you. We do this every year. There are the best and worst days to send out email. We do both B2B separately from B2C. We have green dots that are the best days to send out email. We have red dots. These are the worst days to send out email. And we update it consistently related to the holidays, the pandemic. We just updated it last week, right? We now have our calendars. We have a 2020 calendar, and we just finalized our 2021 calendar. If you'd like this calendar, it's totally free. I will email it to you. You just need to email me at my address there, JAYS at corpwd.com. If you'd like the slides, I could email you the link to the slides as well. The calendars are a great tool. We take into account every holiday, every cultural event, all the data that we have, all our research. So I could send you all of that. We also now have a new Instagram page. We're putting up all of our stats and videos and all this stuff. And that is at Worldata with 1D, WORLDATA. Please follow us on Instagram. And we have a pretty active Twitter account as well. So at Worldata, please follow us. Another thing, subjectline.com. That's a division of my company. We created subjectline.com about 10 years ago. If you don't use it already, we've just actually surpassed our 10 millionth subject line checked. You go to subjectline.com, 100% free. Always has been free, always will be free. You go there, you put your subject line in. It'll tell you how good or bad your subject line is with all of our most recent data and how it's going to perform. There's also an app that you can download if you like. That's subjectline.com. And that's it. So if you want to email me any questions you have, meaning of life, if you want copies of the slides, if you'd like the calendar, please email me. Love to stay in contact. Let's connect on LinkedIn. And with that, I will send it back to Kenny and see if we have any questions.
Jay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I just tweeted something, though. You brought up a great idea on Sherman-Williams. And I decided to tweet, what they should have come up with is LeBron's, not bronze. But they should have partnered with LeBron James. So we got a couple of questions here. Meredith asks, what is your favorite email platform?
It's a good question, and it really depends on the size organization you are. If you're on the smaller side, right, you're not sending out millions of emails, then you're going to be in a category where you're looking at things like MailChimp, Campaign Monitor, HubSpot, and those are all good options for you. The thing about those is you're going to be on shared IP addresses, which means that you're not going to have a dedicated IP. So it's going to be hard for you to build up your own reputation, if you will. But they're really good platforms, and some are more expensive than others. But those are the 3 on the small side. On the larger side, if you are looking for marketing automation, I'm a big fan of Pardot. I'm a big fan of Marketo. And if you're looking just for overall giant tools that work really well, Salesforce Marketing Cloud does a really good job. So those are the ones that are usually on my radar.
All right, a question from our friend Nancy. Are these stats US only, or is this international world data?
Right. Well, that's the irony of my company, right? So these stats are really focused on the US specifically. You can certainly email me. We have a lot of stats that go global. I'll tell you right now, a lot of the tips, while the exact numbers in terms of impacting open rate and all these things may not be exact if you're in Europe or Latin America or this, that, whatever, the general concepts are going to drive the same interest level because we're all facing the same problems right now, right? We're all facing this boredom. We're all facing this need for suspense, this horrible economy. So I would strongly encourage you to test these in other regions around the world.
All right. Nicole asks, do you find these subject line tactics work for recruiting campaigns?
Yeah, they do. I think that there's some other tips and tricks that you could do in terms of recruiting. Personalization does really, really well in terms of recruiting, utilizing the person's first name, J, comma, whatever. That does phenomenally well. The other thing that we see in recruiting is totally going with different formats, meaning letter formats do incredibly well, where it's even more one-to-one communication feel. So these tactics work, but there's even more specific tactics that are just related to recruiting.
Good question. And let's see, we've got one more. Jessica asks, what tips do you have to building your email list during this time for B2B?
Well, first and foremost is be aggressive. Okay, be aggressive, and always be asking too. On your website, you can have. Oh, I would have a static bar on my website where I'm asking for people's email information on every page of my site. I'd use light boxes. So when people come to your page, the first thing they see is not your homepage, but a light box saying, give us your information. We'll give you a free piece of content. Do whatever you can. Always be asking for that information. Keep sending out more information, and then partner with agencies like mine that all they do is try to help you guys to grow your databases in times like these. Here's the good thing about what's going on. Media companies out there, prices of doing campaigns to drive demand are very low because everyone's trying to drive revenue, even vendors. So take advantage of this time period.
Yeah, and I really appreciated your comment earlier about looking at the Facebook data and looking at how it's something I talked about yesterday during my presentation was making certain that you mimic that creative across channel. That was always really important to me. I got a couple of more questions from the audience. Let me pull these back up. Are email offers performing better or worse during this time?
This is the renaissance of email. I'm going to tell you right now that this is going to sound terrible because it can give some of you a headache. But if your emails aren't, let me back up. If your emails aren't doing well and your offers are really good, they're free, they're super incentivized. If they're not doing well now and generating interest, they may not be generating sales, but if they're not generating interest right now, and you're not getting good open rates right now, you are failing as a marketer. That doesn't mean your sales should be up. Nobody's sales are really up this year because it's a horrible year. But if you're not getting higher open rates right now, right, then you're not doing your job because the interest is there. Now, your sales numbers are going to be down. There's only a handful of categories on the planet, that are up right now. So it's kind of like it's a double pronged answer.
Fair enough. So here's another one from Jack. What is the number? I guess I'll paraphrase this. What is the number one word you'd use in subject lines to increase open rates? Or any one super word, if you will?
There's always one super word, and I'm glad that's a great question. The word is free. Please use the word free. And let me dispel a myth. Using free in the subject line, whether you're B2B or B2C, is the number one word. It will increase your open rates by over 30% by using this word. There is a myth that dates back to about 10 years ago that if you use the word free, you're going to go into the junk folder and the spam folder because people believe that you're getting filtered based on the words that you're writing. That is from 10 years ago. You get filtered. You go in the junk folder because of the sending reputation of your IP address and of your domains, not because of the words that you write. You go to these other sessions, not at DigiMark, other events, and they'll tell you the exact opposite of what I just said, but they are regurgitating information from the year of the flood. Don't listen to it. Use these words, they work.
Yeah, it's the same myth bucket with Google penalizing everybody for having the same paragraph on two different sites, and it's always a bunch of junk. So here's another one from Samantha that says, "How many times should I send my holiday email offer to prospects?"
Look, you really need to send until those two metrics are impacted. Meaning, what I say the two metrics is: are your unsubscribe rates going up? Are your open rates going down? You need to have that benchmark with every campaign that you do. Okay, and if they're not going down, keep sending. Okay, you have to realize people don't care about what you're sending. It's not like they're sitting there and like, you know what? I just got another email from the Gap. I'm really angry. That's not what happens. Why do people remove themselves from your list? They don't remove themselves from your list because they got one more email. They remove themselves from your list because they're having a bad day. And they're like, I'm getting rid of all my email. And they unsubscribe from like 7 different things at one time. Right. But if you don't send that one more email, you're not going to get those 20 more sales. So send more, not less.
Last question. It's a really good one from Eduardo. What is the best way to get back your unsubscribers?
Well, there's a compliance issue there, right? So if somebody said that they don't want to hear from you and they've actually unsubscribed, you really have to honor that unsubscribe. But instead of focusing on your unsubscribers, let's focus on the people that are not engaging. Let's take the people who haven't opened up one of your emails in 12 months. Let's put them in a bucket over here and let's email them separately with the most aggressive, awesome,
Mhm.
amazing offer to try to win them back and get them to be part of your engaged audience. If somebody said, take me off your list, I don't like you, you know what? They're not a great prospect. Focus on the guys that are still in your database, but that are bored by what you're sending. That's the best route.
Fair enough. Jay, fantastic presentation.
Thanks, man. I
Have a
appreciate you
wonderful
including me.
afternoon. Stay
All right.
safe.
You too. Take care,
Bye.
everyone.